Hello, everybody. Good to see you. I can't see you, but I'm glad you're out there. All right. So we got a little bit more. So, of course, the request was an adult beverage drink. So, yesterday was my birthday, if you did not know. So, for my birthday, I made some sun tea, and then I took some limoncello, mixed it in there, and it was wonderful. You could try any liqueur with your tea, mixes it up. So, mix it for a nice, refreshing afternoon drink in the sun. So, that was my little tip for you, Vicky.
Limoncello and iced tea.
Limoncello and iced tea. All right. So, what we're making today is welcome home bowl covers. So, we're going to be able to cover our dishes. This one here in particular, I'm happy about because I broke the lid. Now I have a cover for it because the lid is broken. But Liz got me a birthday pie.
In a cake pan.
In a cake pan. And look how that cover will cover up the pie, and you can take it to whatever event, put the whipped cream on later.
It's so cute.
So what we're working with today is I have taped some pieces of paper together.
Is there a pattern for this?
There is a pattern. It's called Welcome Home Bowl Covers. I have the instructions. Patty, would you grab the pattern? I'm sorry. It's Welcome Home Bowl Covers. This is the pattern here. It is... Will you grab me the pattern next? Sorry. I forgot to grab the pattern. Sorry, everybody. All right. So the gist of the pattern is you pick your bowl. So say that this is my bowl. I am going to measure what the diameter of the bowl is. And the diameter of this bowl is 7 inches. So what you do is you measure what the diameter is, and then you add 4 inches to it. The pattern tells you to take your bowl, put it on your paper, and you're going to trace around it. And then you're supposed to go 2 inches outside of it and trace around it. There are different marking utensils that you could use if you find your center. So like this one, if you find your center, then you can trace it around in a circle and get your 2 inches. I found it easier to take a piece of string, measure. So this was 7 inches. I need to add 4, so that would make it 11 inches. So then I would find a center point and then so if it's 7 inches, is 5.5.
Good math. Good math.
So you want from the center of the circle out is 5.5. Does that make sense? I hope to everybody.
How do you attach this string to your project?
Take a thumbtack,
Oh.
put tape on it, and you could tape it to your board. Now, Creative Grids has a ruler that you can use that has the holes in it, and you can just spin the ruler around. Nancy Zimmerman has another one where you could spin it around and get the radius that you need. But if you don't have any of those, you can find the center of your paper. Well, we'll actually use this one. Find the center of your paper. Place your paper. Put the safety pin through the center there. And then use your string and a pencil at the 5.5 inches. And then you could draw your circle. And that's what the spinning mat is for. So
So that's a rotating mat.
yes, which then I can turn the mat,
Here, let me get this bowl for you.
and then I finish drawing my circle. And that will give you the radius of the bowl. And then, now, so my radius is 11 inches. So what I did is I will take 2 pieces of fabric together. And so I'm going to cut the fabric at about 11.5 or 12 by 12 square. So that I have that. I could put my template on top of my fabric. Take my rotary cutter. Now, everybody normally uses the 45. I prefer the 28 millimeter because it does the curves much better. And then I can rotate my mat.
You have more control.
I have more control and I don't get as blotchy of sides. So, I like the smaller blade when I am doing this. And then turn the mat. And there's my circle. So now I have my 2 pieces. I'm going to make sure I used batiks, so whichever ones you use, make sure you put the right sides together on your circle. And you're going to clip all the way around. So I use the binder clips. I have clipped all the way around my circle. I folded my circle in half and half again to find my center point. So today I'm going to show you the Sew Steady table, plus also the circular. So this is the FOF circular attachment.
They make one for Viking.
Viking also has it.
And I believe some of the other brands.
And some of the other brands do have a circular attachment. If you do not have those, you could get a Sew Steady table. Now the Sew Steady table, if you look at the table, you can see here where we have the holes in the table. This one here is the Sew Steady table that has the tray in it. And the tape is on the side because I was traveling with it and I didn't want the tray to open. That's why the tape's there. It's not because it's broken. It's because I was traveling with it. But you would put your pin. So, and then today I am using this foot, which is the FOF seam guide foot. It has several different markings on it. So you can see here where it does 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch, 1/2 an inch, and 5/8. So this one is really nice if you're doing more than 1/4 inch. This is what the foot looks like out of the packaging. And right here is where I'm going to use my 1/2 an inch mark. So, and today I'm on the FOF Creative 3.0, which is sewing and embroidery.
Can you use IDT with that foot?
You do need to use the IDT, and how you know you can use the IDT, there's a groove in the back. And the IDT, for those of you who don't know, is a built-in walking foot that FOF has. And I'm going to attach the foot, pull my thread to the back. I'm going to line the fabric up on this guide right here, and then lower my foot. If I hit the down button twice, it raises 1/8 of an inch so that I can get it positioned.
Your IDT is not engaged. Da-da-da.
And then I'm going to take my pin, put it in the hole, and then I'm just going to sew around it. I don't want to pull, but I want to make sure the fabric is evenly fed. And I'm using the winter clips because they come off really nicely as I'm going around. So we're going to completely sew around, and when we get to the end of, so here's a circle that is completely done. We want to make sure we leave an opening in the circle. And so what we do at this point is we are now going to take, you can either take your pair of scissors and you could come in and clip. You need to cut a 1/4 inch because your 1/2 inch seam allowance, you want to clip to a 1/4 inch. Then you would clip your notches out about every 1/2 inch. I didn't like doing that. So you got a pinking blade with your rotary blade. And so when I did that, I just came to about a 1/4 of an inch away. And I came around, turn my mat. And I'm going to pink all the way around.
Much faster than snipping.
A lot faster than snipping, a lot easier. And if you didn't get it, it's easy to just go back over. My blade could be a little bit dull. So this is what it looks like after it's been pinked. And then we're going to turn it right side out. Now, turning it right side out, we are going to use one of our, we have the, sorry you guys, I apologize about that, so sorry. All right, so I'm using this, which is a turner, but this has a curved part to it. So that curved part, I can go in and then get my seam, and I'm going to go all the way around this. And then I'm going to press it nicely. And when it gets pressed, it's going to look like this. It's going to be nice and pressed. I went ahead and folded it in half. Found my center point. So do a finger crease. And then I'm going to put my thumbtack in here in the center. I want to do another 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to position this. Now, if your holes are slightly larger, if you go a little bit more than a 1/2 inch, that is fine.
Could you adjust your needle position if you wanted to be
If you want to be perfect, I can adjust the needle position to the right or the left. And so I'm going to move it to the right a little bit because it's over at 3/8. So I'm going to move it so my needle is lined up at the 1/8 inch mark. And then I'm just going to sew all the way around it. It feeds very nicely. And we're going to sew all the way around. We don't leave an opening here. And where that leaves us is now we have this. And you can see better from this side. See right here, here's my 1/2 inch seam allowance. And I still have the opening right here. You are going to use 3/8 wide elastic. Now, the instructions tell you to use a safety pin to thread it through. Has anybody had the string come out of their hoodies or whatever, and you have to feed it through with the safety pin? How many of you have had the safety pin head come off or get caught in the thread inside of there? I hate it. It's a pain. It makes my life miserable. They have something called a bodkin. I love these things. They are so handy. When I discovered this, when my mom's like, look, you need one of these. Everybody needs one of these. They're only $4.50. You know, we have this.
And
but
that's your favorite one. Right?
This is my favorite one. This is the one I'm used to. But Nancy Zimmer has some bodkins that are shaped differently, but these will flex. So that's why some people like these better, because they'll flex on you. And you feed this one, you will feed through the opening like a needle and then pull it through.
But yours comes with something else in there.
Mine comes with, it has it looks like a needle, but it has a rounded point. It looks like you're threading a needle.
What do you use that one for?
This one, you can also, if you're using a string, you could do this and then feed the string through. Like that. You just got to be mindful that you don't let it pull through. The bodkin itself, we're going to take the bodkin, put it on the elastic, pinch down, you got the slider, slide it over there. So what this does, when you feed it through, the fabric is always pulling on that slider and it doesn't come undone. So then I'm going to go to my opening and I'm going to take my elastic and I'm going to slide it through. When you're feeding the elastic, you want to try to make sure the elastic is laying flat. You don't want to get it twisted. So I'm going to feed the bodkin all the way through and just feed this around. This is a smaller one. And so this is all, if you notice, all of these are rounded for round bowls. Well, I got creative and I decided to, hey, I want a casserole cover, or if I'm using a cake pan, for example, like this one. So what I did is I measured what the length was, what the width was, cut the rectangle, then I used my circular rulers by Creative Grids, and I just rounded the corners.
Did you have to account for the handles?
Yes, you have to measure the handles into that allowance. So here's my rectangular one. I have, if you notice, the elastic is now fed all the way through on there, and I have it folded, and then I have the extra on each part. You then want to take your cover, put it over what you are, pull on your elastic for how snug you want it, and then we're going to wonder clip that, take that off. Now, when I said make sure the elastic's flat, you also want to make sure that when you fold it together, that it's going to still lay flat at your seam. So then I'm going to, where I want to sew, I'm going to pull the elastic out a little bit. We don't want the elastic to come undone, so I'm going to reverse, sew over it, and, you know, overkill. Let's sew over it again.
Nobody's going to see it.
No one's going to see it, and then you know for sure it's going to stay together and not pop apart on you. Or it just did. Because my needle came unthreaded. Okay, it happens.
It happens.
And how that can happen is that when I use the cutter, if I pull the fabric forward and not backwards, it can undo your, so I'm just gonna sew over that, and then sew back over. I am now going to cut the elastic about a 1/4 inch away from where I sewed. Don't cut your fingers, which it looks like I'm about ready to do, so don't do that. And then I'm just going to kind of tuck this back in, the elastic in. I'm going to pull on the elastic a little bit, make sure it's tucked into my fabric. And then I'm going to close that seam. And you just have to close it right there where you had, where the opening was. Tie off at the beginning and end. And Barb, if you're watching, this is for you, because I'm bad about this. Clip your threads so it looks nice. I have a tendency to forget to do that. So clip all of your thread tails. And now we are going to take this, and voila, there's my casserole cover. Or if you have like a square pan for brownies, we all love our brownies. We have that. But all I did, now I wanted to show you a neat little trick. Remember in the beginning, we did all of that measuring and cutting. So again, this bowl was 7 inches. I added 4 inches to it. So I'm going to cut my, which is 11. So I'm going to cut a square that's 12.5 by 12.5. Do-do-do. And we are going to find the center of this. I'm going to show you how to do this. If you have the extension table or the circular guide attachment has the 2 notches in there. I'm going to slide it in. There's 2 holes in the needle plate. I'm going to put that on. I'm going to fold this, find the center. Now, what's half of 11? I need it to be 11 inches wide. What's half of 11 is 5.5. So I am going to set my circular attachment to 5.5. Place my pin into this spot. Notice I'm not having to draw a circle at all. And then I am going to just start and I'm removing the needle, and so I'm using the circular attachment to sew my circle.
I have a question about the circular attachment.
Yes. What's the question?
When I use the circular attachment, I usually use a piece of tearaway to help keep it a little more structured.
It will help on so that the fabric doesn't
Do that thingy.
Yeah, the fabric can bunch on you a little bit. So yeah, using a tearaway underneath it while you're doing the sewing around it, that will help it from bunching.
And then just pull it out before you.
And then you just turn it over and you tear the fabric away. So that's another way that you could do a circle without actually having to trace it. But, so, those are my bowl covers and my pie cover and my casserole cover. Goes really fast, and all it is just the dimensions of the bowl that you need the cover for.
I would like you to ask them if this time period works good for their Facebook Lives, or do they prefer a different day and time?
Now, I do have a question for everybody, is that we have been doing this every Friday at 2 o'clock. Is this a convenient time for everybody at 2 o'clock, and is Friday good for everybody? If you would like a different day or a different time frame for the live part, of course, always if you're not available, if you go back to our Facebook page, you'll be able to replay the video. It'll be on there. It's just that the live time allows you to be able to ask any questions.
Right.
Does anybody have any questions for me? So, but that was the nice thing about, we got to use our bodkin. We got to use the elastic. And the Sew Steady table, if I have the circular guide attachment, it's nice to notice that it extends past my machine. So it's really good to have the Sew Steady table while you're doing this. And oh wow.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Thomas.
It's the truth.
Yesterday, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
You have to blow them out.
But they're the fake candles.
Oh God, this sparks. Don't set the fire alarm off.
They won't set off.
Justin!
The sprinklers won't go off until it hits 400 degrees.
Oh, good to know.
Smoke
Okay,
on the other
you're
hand,
gonna have to
though.
answer these questions because I can't type. 2 p.m. on Friday works good. Great. Do you have 1/4-inch elastic? Yes, both stores have it. Tell
Yes.
them.
Both stores have the 1/4-inch elastic. Take this before it sets on fire.
What is the circular sewing attachment? How much is the circular sewing attachment?
The circular sewing attachment, I believe, was
Oh, it's over there. Ooh, there's lots of smoke
$94.99.
for the circular sewing attachment.
The circular sewing attachment is $94.99. The bodkin was only $5. If you got the one that I was using, several different ones from Nancy's was $5. And then this one's $6.
What's the pattern?
The pattern is $5. So here's the pattern. And on the back of the pattern it says required materials, 2 fat quarters, and then 3/8 inch wide elastic. I will tell you this, the 3/8, because I did play around with it, the 3/8 is better than a 1/4 inch because it doesn't twist on you as easily. So the thinner the elastic, the easier it twists.
You could use it.
You can use it if you don't have the 3/8. I did have that. I just had to be more careful about the elastic twisting on me.
Wonder table or the wish table.
The So Steady table, you can get this. So this size is the 18 by 24. You can get this So Steady table without the holes in it. Off the top of my head, I believe it's 129. This specific one is 169, I believe. You can also get one without the tray that just has the holes across it. And that one's 149. The tables range anywhere from 129 to 209. It depends on, do you want the 18 by 24 or the smaller? You can get them smaller than this. You can get them larger. You can actually, they do have some that's 24 by 24. So, but each one of the stores can get it, and it does not matter what brand of sewing machine you have. The So Steady table, they custom make it to your model.
So we do have to order them.
So we do have to order them, and it could take a few weeks to get in, depending on the model of the machine. And but it's custom for your specific model.
Yes, Beth Sheldon, it will fit your icon.
I'm sorry?
Yes, Beth Sheldon, it will fit your icon.
Yes, Beth Shelton, that will fit on your creative icon.
Yes.
Or performance icon, whichever you have.
Francine found the bodkin 7 years ago, and she's a big fan.
Oh, Francine on here found the bodkin, and she loved it also. Yes, it's a very handy tool to have, and it smells like smoke in here.
It does. It's very smoky.
But I hope everybody enjoyed it. And come stop by either store. We do carry the supplies. If we're out of the supplies, we will be able to order them in for you.
This group all likes 2 p.m. on Friday, so it looks like we will see them.
Okay, most of the comments back have been they like 2 p.m. on Friday, so we will continue to do this 2 p.m. on Friday. Again, you can always review these. My previous ones you can review. Now, next week, we are going to do...
He's very excited.
I am. We are going to do sergers.
You're going to have to tell him again. You're too far away.
We are going to do sergers next week.
So, who wrote this book?
Okay, so now this book here is, she just came out with this, Katrina Walker. She has some really neat projects in here, and it's how to use the serger from overlocks, rolled hems.
She is a FOF educator.
And she is also a FOF educator. Next week, I am going to show you how to make the serger coasters and the holder for the coasters and the mug rug. Now, everybody on there, I know some of you might go, ugh, sergers. I'm going to be showing you the new air thread serger, which by Viking, which is FOF has one also. I'm going to be showing you on that, but just be mindful, some of this stuff you can still do on your sewing machine, but the serger goes faster, and you'll see that next week. If you don't have a serger, it's still a neat project that you'll like to do.
And FOF air threaders are on sale this month.
And FOF air threaders are on sale this month, so I will be showing you those next week. And I had a great time doing this for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye!